loud. There we go. Can y'all still hear me okay?
Yeah, you're doing good.
Awesome. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is July, is it July? July 7th? 6th? No, 5th. July 5th. July 5th. It is Monday. It is episode 499. 499.
It's Sunday, July 5th.
It's Sunday. It must have been quite the road trip.
Happy Sunday.
What?
It's
Oh,
not
today's
it's
Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay. I'm like, why is everybody screaming it's Sunday? That was yesterday. No, today's Sunday. Okay. That makes more sense. Hey, everybody. It is Sunday, episode 599. I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, it's been a long day. We drove straight through. We were going to stop, but my bride, when she wants to go on vacation, she will push to an extreme. So it was cool. But I got to tell you that the boys who think they're iron and tough and can't be stopped. Yeah, they got the wind knocked out of them after about 14 hours on the road. So that was kind of funny. Mason says to me, he swapped seats and we're on like the last drive. It's about two hours. We had stopped at a Denny's or something. And he says, Dad, he goes, how do you do it? I go, how do I do what? He goes, how do you do it on like 2 hours sleep or 4 hours sleep? I go, well, I haven't slept at all yet. Right. He goes, I don't know how you do it. I go, kind of little bit different, little different kind of toughness, isn't it? He goes, yeah. He goes, I just don't know. I said, well, one day you'll get it. I say all of that to say, you have a certain kind of toughness about you. There's a certain kind of toughness about each of you that allows you to have an unfair advantage. See, when it came to driving today, I've driven, goodness gracious knows, probably close to 2 million miles on highway roads. And my work ethic allows me to do some things. So I have an unfair advantage when it comes to driving. I have an unfair advantage in a couple of different areas in my life. That's part of my secret sauce. What's the unfair advantage that you have? And I got to tell you, those of you that are part of the Secret Sauce program, the Secret Sauce Academy, you are just absolutely blowing me away with all of your commitment, your energy, every morning putting your posts in, the 3 things you want to get done. I'm just absolutely in awe and in joy. And I got to tell you, here it is, day 4, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, day 5. What you've been able to do in 5 days, buckle up, Buttercup, because what's coming is going to be even bigger. It's going to be even deeper. There will be maybe quite possibly be an extra tear or 2 that gets shed. But the challenge is right now you have an opportunity to make a huge difference for you. I would encourage you, those moments that you absolutely love, as you build your systems and as you go through the workbook, those systems that you use when you go through the workbook and the answers that you come up with, I would encourage you, get really clear on those answers. Get really clear on how good they make you feel for you to understand your success. Because when the challenge comes, and it will, and when it wants to give you a little smack in the cheek, and it will, when it wants to give you a gut punch, and it could, the more you spend in joy, the more you spend in clarity and in activity of the right conversations, you will absolutely be able to withstand those blows, those crushing doubts that come. So, again, I applaud every one of you. I'm trying to see who all is here. I'm going to scroll through it. There's Kayla. I see Kayla. I see Delia, and I see Steph, and I see all you amazing folks, and there's Dana and Michelle. Okay, cool. And I saw Bukumi come in. There's Dakaya and Diane. There's Anne. So here's the thing. What is it that you have an unfair advantage in? What is it that you do so well? And today's Sunday. I got to keep wrapping my head around today's Sunday. What are you doing that gives you an unfair advantage? Let me see. Where would I find? There's the participants. We got some hands raised. I'm trying to hold it here in my phone. So Steph, I see your hand is raised. Let's go to hand raise because I don't know how much my brain can work on coming up with content.
Hi. I don't know if it's on my end that there's a delay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, hear you great.
Okay. The video is delayed. Like I see you talking and you're not talking, so it's funny. I just wanted to ask if you maybe could go over what we touched on yesterday about me feeling bad blaming my parents for the things that I'm struggling with or dealing with.
Sure,
and,
absolutely, for sure. Now, so let's use the correct word. There's no blame. They only could do what they could do, and they gave you their genes. They gave you their experience. Whether you mentioned mom got a little lazy and doing stuff or not doing stuff. That's just what it is. When we start to realize, right, we have a responsibility, and it's our ability to respond. And it's our ability to respond to the information that we become aware of. So you've become aware of yesterday when I was at Longhorns and sent you the message that their DNA made you up, and their parents, each of their parents' DNA made them up. So that got transferred to them and got transferred to you. So now there's 6 people a part of your life. But wait a minute, let's go back to their grandparents and parents and grandparents. So all of these avatars that sit inside of you, this is why back in the day, in the 30s and the 40s, right? Italians owned restaurants. Irish were cops. The Polacks did tile work. The Italians did tile work. Mexicans did tile work and concrete work. There was all of these things that was passed down generationally. So when you look at this is no different. We've been able to break a pattern because of technology. And the way we've been able to break the pattern is through technology, the use of technology. Through education. Education is what separates us. Your parents, your great-great-great-grandparents didn't have the ability to go to school, didn't have the ability to educate themselves, didn't have the ability to self-educate. So whatever dad did, they did, right? So now as you go through this process, be aware and look at the habits, the habitualization that exists inside of you when you start to look at something. You know, listen, if you have an idea and you want to get it done, you know how to go take action on it. If you wind up not doing that, I got to let you in on a little secret. It's probably not your fault. It's how you were wired. So the question now becomes, can you rewire? And the answer to that is absolutely 100% yes. You can rewire yourself so that you know how to deal and take action. So when the resistance comes, you know how to put up the fight for it. Because there's things that you do that is just like your mom. There's things that you do that are just like your dad. There's things that you do that are just like an aunt and uncle or a cousin. That's because you got wired from birth. This is where, if you sit and understand your habits, if you think of all of the emotions that you deal with on a weekly basis, if you had to write down all of the emotions you deal with on a weekly basis, I bet your family deals with probably the similar emotions. So then the question is to ask, what emotions would you like to deal with on a regular basis? That is what starts to drive you. See, too many people are looking for the solution. The strategy is not isn't what works. How isn't what works. Mindset, along with a proven how, makes it work. So you could have a proven how. Everybody knows how to lose weight. Everybody knows stop eating. Everybody knows 1,001 ways to not eat. But why are we in the United States 70% overweight? It's because we haven't made the decision. We haven't set the mindset. So this is about you setting your mindset to what you will accept and what you won't accept and make the decision. Does that make sense, Steffi?
It does, and I love it. And one reason why I love the perspective you give us on it is all of us have heard it before. I'm pretty sure when people say, before you look for the blame outside, like, or fall outside, look at yourself. So giving that kind of perspective, I found it super, super interesting.
Yeah. So and again, it's not blame. It's not listen, I'm 6'3". Who do I blame for that? It's just what I am. Now, if I'm 6'3" and I try to walk around 5'2" and my back hurts, I blame myself for being an idiot. We're given a handful of things that we can't change, but our mindset we can change. It's not set; it's flexible if we choose it. Allow it to be flexible. I can't say I want to be 7 foot tall. I could say it, but it ain't gonna happen. And I can't. If I run around complaining, why am I 6'3"? Why am I taller than everybody else? I wish I was like 5'7" like everybody else. Well, that's stupid. Unless you're gonna go have surgery and have some of your bone taken out. But our mindset, we can change that. Absolutely change that. That's what's happening when you decide that when you're going through the 21 goals and you said, oh man, I had goals and then they went back to personal. Well, it's okay, whatever it is. It's what do you want? What are 21 things? What are 101 things you want? And you're doing it in a time frame that forces you to really look at where your mind is setting. So if all of a sudden, after goal number 22, you're starting to talk about personal stuff, that's a huge part. That's your subconscious speaking out. And there's some things to look at that. There's some things that need to be reviewed in that area so that you understand. Maybe you don't want to build a business. Maybe you don't want to talk about business, but you want to build it for these other things that showed up more often. Does that make sense? Maybe there's a little delay there. Rhonda, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, cool. It's Sunday. I forgot it's Sunday. Not that makes any difference about what I'm going to ask you to do, but
we can end in prayer if you want to instead of start.
No, okay, we could end in prayer. Remind me, please, because I'm operating on sailboat fuel.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you. I got kicked out for a second.
Okay, cool. Well, I figured that's what it was, and I was waiting for you to come back in. So thank you.
Yeah.
Did that help, Steffi?
No, definitely. I just wanted to, dive in a bit deeper. And as I saw on my post, like on the group, like many people said they, were curious about it or been wanting to ask you that. And you know why they were wanting to ask me that? Because everybody experiences it. Everybody experiences it. Let me say it. No, let me think about that. No, everybody experiences the same thing. And the reason everybody experiences it because they're a portion of their mom and dad. It's just that simple. It really, really is. It's not much more complicated than that. No.
So, hang on. Let's see here. Anne's got her hand up. Good morning, Anne.
Good morning, Sean. How are you?
How am I? Look at me. How am I? I'm doing pretty good.
Question. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. So I want you to tell me if I'm being a baby because I feel like I am deep inside, but I want to ask you this question. So yesterday after so last week I had an awakening. This week has been amazing. I've been productive, like really productive, like 10 times. I didn't need any coffee. And this weekend hit and I've been feeling sad. I've been crying for no reason. Like, I don't even know, like, I've journaled it and I'm like, why am I crying? Like, I'm okay. And I don't know if it's because I heard the call yesterday and I was thinking about family, or if I was doing the secret sauce booklet and the questions at the end about your secret sauce with money, with faith, with body, with family, etc. And family came up again. I don't know what it is, or am I just making the story up in my head? I just feel like because I've had a productive week, I'm just finding an excuse. Well, my old story is finding an excuse to be like, I don't know, to feel bad. Is Sean there? Sean?
He's coming.
Oh.
I just saw the reconnection.
Hi.
He just has to unmute himself.
Sean, you've got to unmute yourself.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I can't speak because my phone's overheating and all that. But so no, you're not being a baby. You're not. This is what happens when you start to dive into it. This is a distraction. When you get upset and you start to get emotional, is that a normal state for you?
I didn't hear what he said. Did anyone else hear?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear
You're
you.
cutting in and out pretty good, Sean.
Okay. So, and when you get emotional, is that your peak state when you're emotional and you're sad?
Yeah.
No. So let me ask the question again. Peak state, your highest performance state, where you can do your best.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I misheard the. Yeah. No, it's not. I'm obviously down. Yeah.
No. Okay. I knew that. That's why I figured I must have cut out or something. So here's the thing. That is showing up. That state is showing up to keep you from your peak state.
Ah. Okay. It's a distraction.
It's a total distraction, and it's the old story distraction. It's the DNA in your body. It's the cells in your body doing everything it can. When you get sad, it keeps you from moving forward. And this is literally the body detoxing when you go into your secret sauce.
Okay.
So it's not a surprise to me. And I was talking with Rhonda about it. I said, I guess after 30 years of doing this, I probably should have prepared y'all a little bit better for this. But if I'd have told you about it, two things. You may not have got started. But part two is you wouldn't have believed me if I told you going, well, how is getting my why clear going to make me so emotional? Well, here you go. Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
Because it's a strong pull. It's a strong pull to go back to the old. Right?
It's strong though, because I feel like it's so easy for me to go back to the old story.
Well, of course it is. It's just like every addict. Every addict who's been on crack and is getting clean goes, yeah, just one hit. It's real easy for him to go back.
Yeah.
It's for all of us to go back. And that's the challenge. That's why doing your 3 goals every day is critical, because you've not done and professed via live or post. You've not held yourself accountable to do 3 goals on a daily basis. So all of a sudden now you're doing that and you're crushing this old story in so many places, from interacting with us and interacting with the community and changing the way you look at things outside and saying things you've not done before. You're doing live after live after live after live. You're doing the live to my 3 things I'm doing. Then you're doing the live. How did I do? And your brain's going, who the heck is this? And who gave her permission? Rhonda, can you hear me?
Yeah, you get real sketchy and real robotish.
I gotta get something to cool my phone off because it's like really overheating. So see who's got their hand raised next and ask them their question. I'll be right back.
Oh,
Thank
see how he
I know
did
you love
that?
it when I do that.
He just throws me out there, doesn't he?
Rhonda, could I actually ask you a question?
Yes, please.
So, so today I had an awareness about prospecting. So
Mhm.
I was like, I don't really want to swear, but I was really, really scared basically of prospecting. And then Sean said, do 2 a day. So I've been talking to people, but I in no way have been prospecting. Like I'm not even going to lie. But I realized that the reason I haven't gone to that, like, will you do business with me stage is because I feel like, because Sean's talking about building a list, and I feel like if I ask people to join me in business, they might unfollow me. I've stopped myself from asking the question, whereas I should be focusing on my psychographic. Is that what he calls it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I should be focusing on that. So that means that, you know, like if people unfollow me, they unfollow me, right? But I should be focusing on people that actually do want to come and join me and do what the things that I want to do.
Or you focus on yourself
Okay.
and you keep focusing on becoming more and becoming more and becoming who you are designed to be. And then your focus, you know, it's exactly what Sean said earlier and what he always says. What do you have control over?
Mm.
You only have control over you. You only have control over your mindset. And the reason I can say this, Ann, is I bounce in and out of this.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't stay in that thought as long anymore. So everybody always bounces in and out of this, but the only thing you have control over is you. You have no control over who follows you. You honestly don't have any control over who joins you. You have control over you, and you have control over remaining in joy and remaining in love and remaining in happiness. Does what you have, would it help them? Absolutely. But you have no control over making them make that decision. But here's what I'm learning. And this ties in, just walk with me. Hopefully it'll come out making sense.
Okay.
Here's what I'm learning. The more that I work on me, the less I am distracted about business and about other people's thoughts and about addiction to approval. I focus on me. And then the more I focus on me and gratitude and just being thankful, the more business comes to me, the more things happen for me, the more comes pouring into me. The more I release of gratitude, the more I release of thankfulness, the more I release of love and of generosity and of kindness, the more comes to me. So you're teeter-tottering, and Sean would have a whole different way of saying this. You're teeter-tottering on the edge of trying to run after what you have no control over and sitting in your secret sauce and your sweet spot. And and that is it's the challenge that we go through. Is we want our business to grow, we want everything to happen, we want our social media to happen, we want all these results. And we begin to look at that, and that becomes a distraction to becoming who you are and who you were designed to be. And it's a fight. So I hope that's answering your question, because your question is going more into the head instead of the heart.
Yeah, definitely. I think I need to, oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
No, I think I need to list out my distractions in terms of business as well. You know, like followers, trying to get, you know, like likes, whatever, things that really don't determine if I'm going to be in business with someone. So I need to list that as well.
So listing that out, what will that accomplish?
For me to stop focusing on that.
Okay, what's another way you could do that?
Focusing on it.
Do what?
Stop focusing on it.
So what other list could you make?
Oh, whatever. I'm becoming another Sean.
Say again?
Becoming another Sean.
I couldn't hear you. I missed you. What did
I said becoming like
Yes.
Sean.
Oh, I'm sounding like Sean?
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing I've learned when I'm talking with someone is when they stay in the same spot that they have no control over and they continually stay there. Me telling you you're there doesn't help you. But me asking you questions to get your brain to figure out where you are and then to allow your brain to help you out of that spot, that's when I can help you the most. Because I have no control over making you think what I want you to think.
That's true.
I don't have any control, but I do have control over me asking you and allowing your brain to do what it's going to do. So the list isn't, let me write down all the distractions, because now you've gone into a negative mindset.
Yeah.
The list is, here's all the things I've got. And the reason I can speak to this, Anne, is because in my growth, I go back and forth from this spike in growth and a plateau, and then a spike and then a plateau, and then a spike and then a plateau. And those plateaus suck. And when you're sitting in a plateau, they do until they don't. When you're sitting in a plateau, one thing you'll end up doing, for me, what I end up doing is I end up trying to do exactly what you just said. What's distracted me? What's holding me back? What's in the way? When in reality, if I begin to go, my God, look what got me here. Look how far I've come. Holy crap. This is amazing. Look what I've gone through and I'm still breathing. Look at how good I did that. And when you get that shift, that's when you can begin to get ready for the next spike. And the only reason I can tell you that, Ann, is because that's what I'm coming out of, is a plateau going into another spike. So you have this, you set and you told us, you wrote down 1,000 things that you've done well. Why don't you just keep adding to that list or go back and reread it?
Okay. Yep.
Does that help?
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Why don't you talk? Yes, but I would also encourage Ann. Why not do some lives about the 1,000 things you did? You know how many people have not written 1,000 good things? You know how many smart entrepreneurial businesswomen are going to, where did you learn that? And you now have a reason to have a conversation with them.
Okay. Yes.
And maybe some of your lives are, here's number 475, and you do a live about, you could do 1,000 lives, couldn't you?
Oh, that's true.
You'd never run out of content. Number 475, graduating 3rd grade. It may not seem like a big thing, but I got to tell you, I kept the certificate, and graduating 3rd grade was a big thing for my mom, probably more than it was for me, but I got the certificate. In our business, we're always doing it for other people. So that was episode 435. Tune in tomorrow for 972. And you've got content for the rest of your life. You've got content for 3 years if you never talked about anything else.
Wow.
That's huge.
I'm actually going to.
That's so cool.
That's really good because last time on one of your calls, you said, one of you could start a say no to distractions, go live thing or whatever, not go live, Insta live thing. So I researched on a topic and I was going to do that. But then I feel like that's me feeding into distraction. Right?
Yep.
Okay. I'll do this instead. Okay. Thank you. That really helped you guys.
Cool. And somebody was going to speak into you. I think Kayla wanted to share something.
Yes, I want to share. Yeah, well, this is Sean too, right? Because I asked me and like 1,000 Latin people asked him, I think months ago, the same question, right? We want him to tell us like the secret or the magic question or the magic speech, right? To get to prospect or to get to people to do business with you, right? And we asked him kind of like same question, right? Just in a different language, that was it. But it reminds me, right, me when you say that, because I remember when I want also just to talk about my business. We here in Latin, we are so much into business because we never look at any service or product or anything. We always look at how can I make money? How can I make money, right? And so we think that everybody, so that's the way we've been, building many years ago. So when we met Sean, we want him to tell us that, the secret speech, right? And we realized we were doing, I'm not saying wrong, I'm gonna say why we're not having the result we want. And when you said something, it reminds me that, because I remember when I said, well, if the person is not interested in what I do, right? I ditch the person, right? Okay, it's not part of my list because the person don't want what I do, right? So we were doing all these like lists, right? I think this person want my product or my service. I think this person want my business. So we were all thinking about what we think they want, right? And that's when Sean came up and asked questions, right? And he said, okay, do you want them to do what you do, or do you want them to know how good you feel about what you do, right? Got it? That's the question Sean put us, face us with.
Wow.
Do you want people to know what you do, or do you want people to know how good you feel and doing and all these good things that you experimenting in whatever you are doing? That's why before it was so hard for me to not talk about product, because for some reason I feel like people want to know the product or the service, right? But people not, if you look at your own self, sometimes you're not just looking for that. You're looking for, I wonder why she's happy all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then I remember we go through the other phase, right? Because it's like, I wonder what she's doing every day. And then I come up, oh yeah, I'm happy all the time because I drink this. And it's like, no. You don't want to know what you drink, right? Because you want people to know what you want people to know why you experiment and why you are. I bet right now, and let's forget about your business. I wonder right now if you want all your friends to be in this phone call right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Because we experiment a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And this is not your business, but you want everybody to be here, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And I remember when we asked that to Sean, because we thought that he had this secret speech in his pocket and he never wanted to share with no one, right? And we used to get mad. And we get mad at him, and we even and I always say this because well, the more you know me, and we talk behind his back, and he really think that we stupid, that he always say that there is no secret there, that there is no right? And then we realize what he was trying to teach us, right? So again, it's not about what you sell, what you offer. It's about you. So when you go out there, I stop putting lists of product, of business, or fun. No, I just make lists of people. That's it. Whatever name comes to my mind is in my list. I don't care what age it is. I don't care if it's male, female. I don't care. Whatever name comes to my mind is in my list, right? And I want people, and that's why when you do your live, if you start to talk about what you want, when you talk in your life about you, about what you experimenting, there is another reason why when you sad, you don't want to do a live. I mean, you can be sad and talk about your product. Makes no difference, right? Mm. Why you don't do a live when you sad? Because you don't want people to see that you sad. Who want to be with you in a business if you sad? You can have the perfect product or service. You can be making $1 million per day and you can show them your account. But if you're like, oh my God, yeah, I'm going through this now, but I want you to know that I'm making $1 million. But anyway, I feel like killing myself. I mean, nobody want to see you like that, right? And you're still making $1 million. You don't want people to see you that way because it's about you. Yesterday, 2 days ago, if you saw on the group, I mean, I made like 5, 6, 7 live. I didn't talk about my product. I didn't talk about money. I talk about me being happy. And I have this energy so much that I want everybody to see it, right? And that's why when we are sad or depressed, that's why we get like extra depressed, because it's like I can't go out there and show myself because now it's like I don't want people to see this. So that's what I want to share with you, because I remember me asking the same question. And trust me, back then, well, to me, I don't know everybody else, but to me, it's been like a real accomplished, because back then, I probably have like 5 person in my team and bunch of no's, right? Now I have over 1,000 person in my team, right? Just because I go out there and I don't talk about business. I stopped talking about business. I stopped talking about my product. If you go to my Facebook, you won't see my product. You don't know what product I do. You probably know, but you don't know because of my Facebook, right? Right? I don't talk about how much money I make, but people can tell that I'm doing good if they know me, of course. If they don't know me, they don't know, right? But if they know me, they know, because they hear my story and they hear my energy. They see me and they see and that's what I want them to live. They never gonna live my dream. You're never gonna know what they want because they never want what you want. To me, probably, to me right now, $15,000 per month is good, right? But to somebody else, my $15,000 is their $100. Give them the same happiness. So you can't expect people want what you can't expect people to do what you do. Yeah. You expect people to see the joy, the love. Why are you always happy? Why we always talk with Ronda? Because she always there like, and people is like, what the hell? I mean, what she always like? That's what people want, believe it or not. And it's easier that way because whoever don't like her face, she not even have to go out there and talk about business or product, because that's it. Don't like that energy, don't need to be with me. But I'm not the one who have to pick and say, oh, you're not good, you're not into what I do, you don't think like me, or you're not, oh no, you want less than what I want. This, no. Whoever don't like my face is not gonna be with me, but it's their choice. And I'm happy for that because they make the choice and don't got that responsibility on me and say, I wonder if she likes my face, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we end up, and I was the same way like Ronda. You never see Ronda doing those things before on live. But we realize, thanks to Sean, thanks to God that put us in our way, that we can go out there and be ourselves. And we're going to have people that love us, and we're going to have people that hate us and not with us and hate us and is with us too, right? That's it. So that's what I want to share with you. Those are on my own way, Sean's words.
Kayla, you're so awesome. That's so awesome. You helped me so much, and I hope you got as fed as I did, because what Kayla just dropped and how she did it was simply amazing. So, and just to spin off of that, sorry, Ann, one more thing, just to spin off of that. All of y'all, all of us that dive into what Sean's teaching us, that's the result. That's the result. You can take someone in Panama, you can take a strong Latino woman in Panama, or you can take a strong Southern East Texas woman and get the same growth in their way, but you get the same growth to where you get out of the head, out of the way, and you get into the heart, and life changes drastically for you. It's diving in, it's doing what you guys are doing in the secret sauce group, and it's diving in and getting it and applying it. And Kayla is further down the road than I am because she's worked with Sean longer than I have. But we're still both we're leaps and bounds ahead of where Sean found us. I mean, so far, so different that it's almost hard to tell who we used to be. I know Sean's like, thank God we're different. What Kayla just said was unstinking believable. So good. Kayla, thank you so much. I needed that.
Yeah, thank you, Kayla. That was amazing. I mean,
thank you, Kayla.
Yeah, it was very refreshing to hear. Like, I feel like Sean has said this 1,000 times, but hearing it from you is it's just different. So yeah, thank you so much. That really, really helped. So thank you.
If I can support Kayla, might I suggest that a really good example, and perhaps one of the best teaching tales, if you will, for marketing is the movie When Harry Met Sally. When the patron looks across to Meg Ryan and says, I'll have what she's having. If you get the message, that's what it's about.
Thank you, Rob.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Yes, Delia.
I have 3 questions for
what?
Ann Pay. I have 3 questions for Ann.
Okay.
I think it's going to help you because he helped me last night, but I'm supposed to do questions. So I get the information and I put it into questions.
Okay.
Later, if you don't understand them, you.
Oh.
Okay. I guess she'll be back. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. So, did that help, Ann?
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, you know.
He's gone.
Oh, we lost you, Sean.
Sean.
Can you hear me now? Hold on.
We can hear you now.
Let me turn off my video. So what I love is I love that the way Kayla doesn't pull any punches, and she just and I know they used to they probably still talk behind my back, but they used to get frustrated, and they would come to me and I would literally say to them, I'm telling you, there's no secret. And they'd go, oh, okay, there's no secret. And I'm like, I
Yeah, Sean, you're losing your signal.
and I love that Kayla got it, because this is the thing about all success. When you get it and you learn it, you can't forget it. Okay, I'll let you run it, and then I'll figure out when I can jump in.
Well, you can jump in every now and again, and we need to hear from you because
What's your
you're
question?
tying.
No,
you're tying it up.
Literally, watch this. I am taking wet paper towels.
Oh, wow.
with water to cool off my phone because it's so hot, and I'm sitting under the shade, so I have no idea. You guys are just heating up the. So, who's next, Rhonda?
Let me look here.
I'm here.
No,
there's
hang on,
Delia's
Dela.
back.
Hang on, Delia. Let's go to Gigi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Hi. So I kind of have, it's a little bit of a story, but the story leads into a question. So Friday, I had like a weird craving for Chipotle, and I don't even eat Chipotle, but I was like, I'm gonna go to Chipotle. So I went to Chipotle, and I was like weirded out because, everybody has like a mask on everywhere and nobody's like interacting with people. So I was like, okay, is this the new normal? I guess so. And then I went into Chipotle and I met this girl who was working there, and me and her like kind of had conversation while she was, making my order and stuff. And she was asking me about her braces, and she was talking about like her daughter wanting to get braces. And before I left my house, I took the secret sauce workbook because I was like, I could sit there and I could eat and I could work on it. Because I don't know, something was just telling me to just do it. And I didn't listen to that. And I took my food and I left. And on my way home, I was like, dang, I could have talked to her about the business opportunity because she was talking about how her daughter wanted braces. But I'm like, she just met me and she's already talking to me about her daughter wanting braces. So, okay, forward to like later on that evening, she saw the video that I had made. What was that? Friday. And she was like, oh my gosh, I saw you at Chipotle. And then she messaged me and she told me, she was like, there was just something so bright about your aura and I just had to speak to you. Then she was like, what's your Cash App? And she sent me $50. But part of me is like, I'm working on being able to receive. So it was hard for me to be like, okay, here's my Cash App. But I was like, you know what, Gina, this is a test because you need to learn how to receive. And then she spoke to me about like this business that she's trying to start, but I'm still struggling on how I can present this opportunity because like she's having this conversation with me and she's telling me all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is perfect. Like I'm not trying to have to dig to get this information. She's telling it to me, but I still don't know how to present the opportunity to be like, oh, this could possibly help you. So I need help. Okay.
So what do you need help with?
Like how to present the business opportunity?
Well, what did Kayla just say?
We just need to put Kayla back on loop and let it just keep replaying.
So Kayla said they don't want your product, they don't want your business, they want your energy. She said you already had a beautiful aura. Why not just talk about auras?
Okay.
And you didn't even present the business and she sent you $50.
Yeah.
What business are you in? I'm in the business where I show up at Chipotle and people pay me $50. Okay, well, what's your Cash App? I guess I got to send you $50.
So Gigi, this is the disconnect Kayla was talking about. This is when Kayla said they would get mad at Sean and go, no, just tell us.
Keep telling me the secret.
Just tell us. And Sean keeps going, I'm telling you everything. I'm telling you, because I've done the same thing. Everything that Kayla said that they went through, I'm doing. I'm just on a delayed version from them because they got started faster than I did, sooner than I did. So it's the same thing. how am I trying to say? How am I saying that, Sean?
It's when you finally operate from your secret sauce, which we've all been avoided, we've all been told we can't use. People say, here's $50 for your secret sauce. And you didn't even know you were using your secret sauce. Your secret sauce was an Aura she saw. Come on, Gigi. How many people want to send you $50 out of the freaking blue? Come on.
It's like, Sean, Gigi.
Go ahead, Kayla.
That story reminds me also when people were talking to us and we're not listening, because all we have in our mind is, how can I tell her that I do this business? How can I tell her about my product? And the people is talking and he's telling you like, oh yeah, and yesterday I did this and did and that, and you in your mind like, okay, so what part I should stop her and tell her that I'm selling this? And then you're not listening.
I love this.
You know, and you're not listening, because that was me, right? And she's talking about her kids or her boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend or whatever they talking about, their mom or whatever, and you're like, I wonder if this is the part that I tell her that I'm doing a business and I can meet other men in another country, or I wonder if this is the part that I can tell her that this. So you're not listening to the person's story. You're not listening. So you need to stop about thinking about what part you can get in about talking about business, what part you can get in, talk about whatever you do, and just listen. Listen, just listen. You really listen and be part of the conversation. Because whenever you're part of the conversation, trust me, it will be one part that you will say something like this. Oh yeah, you know what? One time in my life, or sometime, or last week, I was going through the same thing, you know, oh my God, and thank God, because whatever I'm doing right now, or you start to tell a story, not promote a business, right? So you will find a way. That's how I talk so much, but I listen too, because before I talk, but I don't listen, right? I listen now, because now I'm like, I remember one time Sean told me this. I remember we were at this event in Panama at a hotel, right? And he asked me, and I feel so bad. I didn't show it, of course, but I felt so bad because he said, Kayla, do you know how many kids he has? Do you know that he have 3 sons? Do you know his kid's name? I'm like, oh my God. Sean already knew the person's kids, their names, their age. And I was so worried about thinking that this person was so good to do the business and he was doing nothing. And I was so upset because I said, this person got so much, he got everything to make a lot of money here. And here he is not doing shit. And that's what I was in my mind, right? And then Sean said, do you know he got 3 kids? Do you know that he got one of your son's age? And I'm like, oh shit, I don't know none of this person's life. And here I am, want him to do business, make money. I not even know that one of his even daughter can be probably my son's girlfriend, who knows what. I mean, but the point is, that we don't listen to other people. We are so stuck in talking about our business, our product, or our service, or our money, that we don't listen. If you start to listen to the person's story, whatever they telling you, that's why they are there. They want them to listen. Right here, you are talking about what you've been through, and all of us, because we want everybody to listen to us. And sometimes, like Sean said yesterday, sometimes none of the things that we said is the one that changed our life, right? But just the point that somebody listened to us, right? And we listen to them to change our life, right? Sometimes I say something I think is probably going to change people's life, and then it's not. But that prepare the path to the person get to wherever the solution will be, right? So instead of thinking, how can this, I will say, go back and think about the whole conversation. in your mind, say, okay, she told me this, she told me this, she told me this. Where can you be part of that conversation? What part you can be there? And you can share something about you that she feel connected. Because if you're not connected with the person, I mean, how can you want to build a relation? I mean, if somebody come here, I mean, to me, and Jones know this, it's real hard for me to do business with men, and he knows that. I mean, he knows that I don't hawk men. He knows that, right? And more if they older than me. I mean, and he's the first person that make this happen. If you see me hugging a man, I put my hand in the middle because I don't want no connection with the person. I wish I just go like this and I hug and all this, right? Because I have this connection. So I try, and that's me. So until I get over that, I don't know if I ever get over or whatever, I connect with people, right? But you don't connect with someone that's telling their story, right? Why you want to do business? You, not even them. You're talking about why they don't want to do business with you. You, why you don't do business with? Why you want to do business with somebody that you don't connect with, right? Because you need to listen to their story so you can connect to their story. Otherwise, the whatever you want to build is never gonna be there. And you know what I realized? I can connect with young kids. I can connect with teenager, with woman. I can if I listen, because there is always something in my life that I can share with them that make us connect. And I never talk about my business. Some point they will say, but anyway, Keyla, what do you do? Oh my God, I said, bingo, I'm here, right? But I don't take my complaint. Oh yeah, listen, I complain, da, 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 da. No, I keep telling my story. That's the way I show my business. Oh yeah, oh, you wanna know? Oh no, oh no, my God. 2 years ago, you can't believe this. I have nothing. And I started telling my story, and they understand the complaint more than that, because if you have nothing and now you have something, there gotta be a good complaint there, right? And that's that. And I want to share this with you because it goes kind of more also together with what Anne asked, right? And I hope it helped. Just listen to their story, repeat their story, whatever they said in your mind, and try to you share something of you with that person, and that will lead you. And you know what I believe too, and I learned from Sean? The more time you wait for the person to know what you do, the best. Because if the person know about your business right away, it's like, oh my God, she's talking to me because she wants me to get in that I don't like, right? Oh, she's smiling to me just because she wants me to buy that product. She's not binging. And I learned that the more you wait, you don't rush to talk about your business, the more connection, right? Next day you call the person, right? You ask about how she's doing, oh, hey, remember me? I saw you at Chick-fil-A, remember? I was wondering why this and that. Oh, you know what? The one I bought, the Chick-fil-A, the food I bought, it was great that I have to go back. I mean, just totally a different conversation. And the longest, and we start to get like real good about it. And at the beginning, it was like a plan, right? I'm being honest. I mean, at the beginning, it was like a real plan. Like, this is not me, but I'm pretending. Like, oh, hello, Mary, how you doing? It wasn't me, but I was going there, right? And then like, how are your babies? Oh, isn't it bad crying? And I was like, oh my God, this is not. But what I was doing is that I was forcing myself not talking about business and product, right? But you know what? I did it and I did it so much that now it's true. That now I'm not sure if when I called to ask about the baby, she probably hung up on me. Oh, here you go, she coming. But I'm being genuine now because I really want to know, because it's a relationship. And after that, I learned that really your team become a family. It's true. Your team become a real family. I've been in bed for 3 months, right? Miserable, thought-wise, physical-wise, whatever you want to call it. And I have a business and a family running. We're up prospecting now 1 person in 3 months, right? And I have a family, and the people say, Keyla, we got you, don't worry, we are here. And you know why? Not because they're making money. It's because we have connection, because we are family. They probably, if that wasn't there, they probably say, oh, now she's in bed and we're working hard here, making money for her, and she's collecting all this money while she's sick, and we are here, the one working, right? But now they don't think, and yeah, probably so, yes, but it's not like that. They're like, hey, Keyla, yes, we are here working, but you don't worry about it. Take care of yourself, whatever it takes, and that make a difference, right? They're doing it for their dream. They're doing it for their family. It's true. They're not doing it for me. Hey, I have to be clear about that. They're doing it for them. They do it for their family, yes. But at the same time, they're grateful with me, and they call me. I don't have that thing in my mind saying, oh, they probably working there and I'm not there and I'm not there and I'm not there. No, they say, don't worry. Time will get better and we are gonna be together. And that's good. See, but that's connection. And that's that stupid word I thought 2 years ago that Sean teach me, connection. And I was so tired of that. Thank God I didn't say anything, right? But it's so true. And now I'm like in that part with my team and Sean, I know they say I'm stupid sometimes and they talking behind my back now like I used to talk about him, right? And I tell them, connection, and like, there she comes, the heart lady, that everything's love, and I don't care. Because I know when someday they're gonna understand that the same way that Sean was patient with me, right? So that was it.
Thank you, Keyla.
She says that was it, like it was nothing. Yeah, that was so good. That was so good. Hear what you, listen to what you heard, because this sunk into a whole nother level to me. She just said she hasn't, not necessarily right this minute, but at times she hasn't prospected in 3 months, but this family keeps growing. It's the same thing that happens here. Sean has said minimal words today, and we've got just as much growth happening in our minds and in our hearts right now. Why is that? Because Sean has sown so much love, so much care, so much energy into us that we can come together. And as a family, none of us would let this call drop. None of us. If it came down to the person that barely speaks, if that was the last resort, that person would end up speaking. That's exactly what Keyla is just telling you. Keyla has switched and went into building lasting, lifelong relationships, whether you're in business with her or not, lasting, lifelong relationships. And because of that, she's loved these people on her team, on our team, that no one wants to stop for her, and it benefits everybody. That's when you have began to change your legacy. That's legacy changing. Keyla has produced inside herself so much love and joy, and she lets it flow out of her eyes and out of her mouth and out of her hands, that her legacy now is Keyla, this amazing Panamanian woman who loves so deeply and cares so amazingly that anybody that's around her wants to be a part of her world. She's changed her legacy. Now, the reflection of that also shows up in her business. That's just a reflection of the legacy that's changed. That's just a reflection. That's just a monetary reflection of the heart that has changed inside of Keyla and the heart that comes out of this woman. That's the gold. And that's why Keyla cannot have to prospect for 3 months while she's going through trials and tribulations, and her team keeps growing. That's why her team wants to keep running for her. That's why they got her. Y'all, everybody on this call, that's what we're wanting. We're wanting that. And we're all going, oh my gosh, how do we do that? Keyla just laid it out. She just laid it out beautifully. And Gigi, I hope that, I know it's sunk in with everybody. I hope it's sunk in with you and your thoughts on, oh my gosh, how do I tell her about my business? You don't have to until it's the moment to. Did y'all get like, yeah, I'm like, I'm over here just like jumping out of my skin. Like, oh my gosh. That was like a $2,000 weekend training right there. In however much time it was from Keyla. That was good.
Thank you, Keyla. That really does make sense. So pretty much just let it happen organically. Don't force it. That's what I'm doing.
And it can happen a lot more organically when you're doing organic things like connecting with people. Build people, not a business. I can't tell you, I'm just sitting here like a proud peacock, because I got to tell you, if you wanted to try to convince somebody, Keyla is not the one you want to start with. We have an expression in English, that's one tough cookie. Keyla is sharp. And you know her story, and she's not going to listen to some white guy who comes down and has no idea the problems or the challenges. And then when they ask and they think I'm keeping it a secret, and I keep telling them I'm not. So it's pretty cool. Go ahead, Rhonda. Who's next? I'll just sit here and smile and giggle.
Let me see here. Hang on. Daniela Nunez. Oh, yeah. Hang on, Sharon.
Hello.
Danielle, are you there? There she is. Are you unmuted?
How are you? Yes.
There you are. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, I have a question. I'm doing like these videos every week, right? Like teaching something that I learn or I practice in it and all of this. And I want to do a video about the 100 things that you succeed, the 100 thing list that we're doing, you know, because I think it's really important. Like, I feel like when you are in that position that you have to write things that you did well, it's like a life-changing experience. It's like, okay, wait a second. I've done a lot of things and I never recognized myself for most of them, right? But I want to talk a little bit more about why to do it, you know? So I need help on that. Like, if you guys can tell me a little bit more about why somebody should do it, you know?
So Daniela, can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So don't give away your secret sauce.
Okay.
Lead them to your secret sauce. I'm going to be doing a training on something I learned that changed my life. How to find 100 things that you do amazingly well. Join me on a webinar.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, don't see when you, listen, I hope this sinks in. When you learn it, people got to raise their hand to learn it from you. Don't give it away. That's kind of like running around naked. I mean, nobody wants to see me running around naked. Nobody wants it. So they got to raise their hand. When you find something that changes your life, make them raise their hand. Okay. See, when I would go down to Panama and Costa Rica, and I would sit with Keyla and I would sit with the elite team, there's about 25 people on the elite team. But then there's this core group that I started with. There's about 7 of us. And when I would sit and have these conversations, and I didn't know how I didn't know how mad they were getting that I was keeping the secret from them, because they thought there was something more to it. Now, if I said to them, listen, you guys come up to my suite and I'm going to give you a training, and if I made it complicated, but it's got the same point across, they might have bought into it sooner. But when you go give away the lesson that you learn about your list of 100, nobody's going to see any value in it. Why is she giving it away if it's so valuable? It's got to be crap, so I'm not going to do it. Does that help?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
And since we have our resident masterclass teacher here, Kayla, what would you say? I don't know if she's there.
Yeah, she's there. She's just laughing. There she is.
Okay.
I'm pretending something wrong with my.
Yeah, see, I know Kayla's secrets.
She doesn't speak English. No, habla inglés.
I'm pretending my connection. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh my gosh.
You know what?
So that.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Kayla.
The only thing I can say, I mean, right now about that, because you just say don't put your secret out, right, and wait for your webinar. So I was my mind right there is like, okay, no more thinking, because I learned to listen. But yes, I remember a bunch of times, a lot of times, Sean asked me to do something, and I'm like, why I have to do this? I mean, yeah, okay. It sounds like it's something will happen, but I can't really see it, right? But I'm gonna say something right now that probably is gonna sound kind of hard, and plus the way I talk, probably everything sounds hard. But anyway, when you really start to trust whoever is in front of you, trying to really want the best for you, you don't question that much. And you just you go with it, right? And you know what I say, it probably sounds bad, because when you still questioning something with people that got resolved, people that showing you they want to help, there is probably something else there why you refusing to do it. Maybe it's you, maybe it's something that you still not convincing you. And I learned that from Sean too. And I learned that from my team too. A lot of time, Sean tell me to do something and I'm like, shit, I don't understand what he's telling me, but I trust him. I believe in the person that is talking to me. So I say, okay, I do it, right? And I did it. And that's how I end up understanding. But I trust him, right? And I 100% believe, that's why you hear some people say, I hear here in this meeting, people say, he asked me to jump, I jump. I know he got something out down there that is gonna protect me, right? But I believe in him. And I started to believe that, understand that more, because I got people in my team. That I ask them, do this way, let's try this, and they don't do it. And I know they don't do it. It's because like they probably feel like I'm full of crap, or they probably don't believe what I'm doing. So I say it was gonna sound kind of hard because, first of all, for me, the first thing is you have to believe. You have to trust. Whatever Sean is telling us to do is not because he wants the worst part of us. He wants the best part of us. So even if you telling yourself not to do it, and this is me talking, I mean, honestly, force yourself to do it because there is something there. And I'm really happy and glad that you asked that question, because you probably have the courage to do it. Many other people probably going through the same thing and not asking the question, right? Because we are human beings. We sometimes want people to believe that we are doing things and we're probably doing shit, right? And we just saying yes, yes, yes. I'm so proud of you that you asked the question, because I know here is the same question a lot of people have. But here it is a person that, yes, sometimes I asked that question back then 2 years ago. And then I say, you know what? But I want something that that man have. And you know what? That peace that he reflects, right? That way of living, I don't know how the hell he make money and how he have money. He's always in this meeting, right? And I said, I always ask myself, when he have time for his family, but he have it. How he make money? I don't know. So I want that, right? I see him on a stage with over 5,000, 10,000 people, right? I want that. I want to change people's life that way. So there is something there that he's doing, and I will pay attention to that man there. I don't care. He's always at the beach, at the lake, right? I don't care. I will pay attention to whatever he tell me to do, because I know there's a reason why. So I don't know if that help you or that sounds too hard, but at the same time, it's like I said it, right? So that's what I have to share. And there goes Rhonda, and there goes my finger. I know you're probably feeling that finger, right?
Jew, I feel it right here. Jew.
So what more than anything else, Kayla, what more than anything else led you to become trusting of Sean? What was it about him that you know, what behaviors would you suggest that other people adopt by which they can become trusted?
Well, I mean, of course he knows his things, right? And he knows how to read people. I mean, that's something that he got, and you know, because for some reason, like he keep repeating, he was here in Panama, and I'm like, what? He's telling all these things to me, right? And I guess he listened to people, and he allowed me to talk without him saying, you have to do this. I mean, he tell us what he want us to do now in this close team, right? In this close meeting, right? But I learned from him that when he came to talk to me, he listened to me. He didn't come here I am, the person that got all this success in life and this, and I'm big than you, and I'm plus somebody from the United States. This is something about Latin people in the United States, you know, for all you to know, when somebody's from the United States, we like, wow. Whoa, we want that, right? The American dream, right? So here is this big man, right? White and talking nice, even sometimes people don't understand him. I still feel that they understand him. I still don't got a clue for that, but I guess that's connection. And he comes and listens to me. And he comes and made me feel important, made me feel good, made me feel, I mean, it was all about the way he concentrated about how I felt, right? And amazing, keep asking questions, but the questions that he asked, even though he always say ask questions, there is something behind those questions. He's not just asking questions for asking questions. It's question full of love. It's question that when you answer, you feel good about you. Because sometimes you ask questions, but you make the people feel bad. Trust me. They will tell you, shut up, don't ask me no more questions. Who you think you are? And they will start to ask questions back to you. So it's not just about asking questions and make people like, yeah, I got the answer. Yeah, I'm the one. Oh, you should feel bad. No, he asks questions that whenever you get whatever answer you get, it will make you feel good or will make you feel empowered that you can conquer the world, right? And that was one of the things, and I learned that. So when I ask questions, I don't try to put people on the spot of feeling themselves bad. And that was one of the first things he started asking. He, instead of saying, you did this, first, he said it, but first he asked me, you know you did this? Do you know that what happened tonight, you did it? Huh? He started make me force my mind to think about it. And when he said that, I said, oh my God, I put all these people in 1 month, 400 people in one room in 1 month. Oh my God, I did this. And then he said, you did it, right? So that was like my first connection to him, right? So, I mean, like you asked, if you just asked me, Rob, I mean, what else? I know if you ask me 2 minutes later, I will think about something else. But that was the first thing about him, making me feel good about it. And then I started to realize that when he talked to my team without really know to me, or maybe he knows me more than what I thought, he started to talk to my team and it was all about them, right?
So it's asking questions about them and then affirming their answers as if you actually heard them. Something like, gee, I'm glad to hear that suppository is really working for you.
Exactly, right? And because I used to ask questions, but my question, I mean, I didn't realize it, of course, and I was working on myself. I'm still working on myself, but I used to ask questions, but to put people like feeling bad, right? Because I thought by making them feel bad, we helped them go to feel them good, but it was totally a disaster. It wasn't like that. So I learned that from him, right? Ask questions, yes, but don't put up the person in a spot that to make them feel like they're not doing things right. No, at the end, probably that's the purpose, but don't make them feel that way. Make them feel that they're doing something good or they can do more, but to feel proud. We are human beings. Even though we're doing things bad, I mean, it takes a lot of connection. It takes a lot of connection for somebody tell you, stop, like Sean says sometimes, stop right there. I mean, he can do that now, and you won't take it wrong. But if I come to you, I say, stop, that's shit. I mean, you will say, no, you full of shit, right? But for you to get to that point, I mean, it takes time. Sean tells that sometimes to us, and we not even feel it like he's telling us, oh, shut up, right? We not even feel it. It's like when somebody's talking to me in French, they can be telling me all these bad things, and I feel like telling me, love, I love you, I love you, I love you. And they probably insulting me. And that's how Sean is. When Sean tells you, you're full of crap, you not even listen to that. You're like, oh, tell me, Sean, you sound sweet. And he's telling you, shut up, stop the bullshit, right? But for you to get to that point, you need to give love. You need to listen to the person. I know Sean told me a lot of time. I wrote something to Sean the other day, right? And he read, he said, okay, I just read, and he never answered back to me after he did answer back, but he said, oh, I will let you know later. And he never said anything back. And then when I read back, I say, yeah, I understand what he means now. He means stop asking for approval. Do your shit, right? So I say, yeah, Sean, I understand now, right? And I just told him that now, right? So, but it's now that he can do that to me. And that's the same way to us. I mean, you can't expect people to jump because you want them to jump. Just because you jump one time, you feel like, no. And you need, I end up, and we reach to the same point again, connection. If people don't trust you or you don't trust someone, okay? But if you trust the person, if you saying you trust the person, right? And you trust that the person is doing something for you to be better, for you to accomplish something, then don't question. It's not that it's bad to question, but don't, just do it, right? And the other thing, think about it. I mean, here is a lot of people that I bet are not in the same Me Loving More business that Sean is. And here it is sharing these things with everybody. I mean, if that was me years ago, I'd say, shit, you think I'm gonna be sharing my peace of mind with people in another business? Come to my business for a night, share peace of mind, right? That's love. Here I am talking to all of you, and none of you are under my business. And I'm sharing this thing where I can say, I can be with my team sharing all these things, right? But you know who got me to this point? Sean. That's love. That's making me understand that the more you give, the more I get, right? And here's a person teaching a bunch of people every day. We're not missing one day to all of us grow our business. And we're not even in his, well, I am, but you guys probably, some of you are not in his business, right? And here it is, helping you to make money, to change your life, to grow your business, to love people. And what he's getting out of it? You probably say nothing, but he's getting more than all of them. Don't let him fool us. He's getting more just by sharing so much love. And that's what I learned. So that's what I don't care. I mean, caring in the good part, because I learned there's a good part of bad part of everything now too. So I don't care in the good part way, you know, in the good side, that you guys, I'm sharing all these things with you guys. I know all this will bring me to a bigger business, a bigger life. And like I said, all this, when you share, when you learn, when you share something that other people teach you and you know that it helps you and it helps so much people, you realize that you, like Sean said, you start to move so much energy around the world. You know how blessed I am that I'm talking here, and I know how many countries are listening to me. You know how much energy I'm getting right now from all of you? And I started to learn that. Sean teach me that. Sean teach me, don't get your business like it's your property and it's only them and you and nobody else deserves. No. The more you give to the world, the more you receive back. And I bet you anything after today, and listen, I'm not doing this because of that, but it came to my mind right now, no? Just make it sure. I bet you tomorrow, my business will grow in a way that I can't even imagine. And here I am with people of other business, of other company, and I started to learn that from Sean Murphy. I mean, he impacts so much my life that there is a series on Netflix called Dr. Murphy, and I watched the whole series when I was in bed all these 3 months, Dr. Murphy, just because he got his last name, Murphy. I mean, that's how he impacted my life, that I watched him and I was like, yeah, this is Sean. And I love that. Thank God he got some good message this series, right? But I guess everything that got Murphy in it is good, right? So I'm so happy, right, that this happening. And I'm so happy I can share this because, and we can be even better than him. You think I would say something like this before? I would be scared shit saying something like, oh, I want to be better than you. I say, no, hell, you can't tell. You can think about it, but you can't say some stuff like that. I don't got no scare say, Sean, I want to be me, I'm better than you. I can say that because that's what he's trying to do. He don't want 34, no, besides him, 33 Sean Murphy. He wants 33 better people that have a piece of him and more piece of each other. You imagine 30 people have the things that he got, plus our own secret sausage? Huh? I keep saying sausage. I don't know, for some reason I keep having like a hot dog in my mind. I don't know why is that. I got a private thing with Sean, why I keep having a hot dog in my mind. I don't know if that means something or not. But anyway, I live that like that. Don't be thinking nasty stuff. Anyway, but that's how I want to finish that.
Dr. Freud.
I love you all.
We love you too, Kayla. And the only thing that's missing, you know, there's only one thing that's missing this morning. Where's the rooster?
Rooster, I know. I have to get them back.
Because the dog is back.
Yeah, I guess I have to get them back because it's like something missing. I know that was part of the secret sauce, I guess.
Wow, Kayla, thank you for that. That's just amazing. So, and Sharon, I see that you want to chat. I just want to go back to Daniela for just a second. Daniela, here's the neat thing about your secret sauce and the secrets that you learn. You just learned this one and it's impacted you. And you're going to learn another one. There's always going to be the latest thing you learn. And when you learn the latest one, you now can freely give the one that allows you credibility. It becomes part of your resume. So now you can talk about when you learn the next nugget, the next secret to success, right? Like it says in the book, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, right? In his book, no fewer than 100 times has the secret to success been revealed. You're going to continue to learn these nuggets. You're going to continue to bring these nuggets home to you. And so therefore, it doesn't devalue what you already know. It just means you've got another new nugget and you can do another new webinar. Plus, some people didn't hear the webinar about the list of 100 things that you've done. So you've got all of these. Everyone has value. Then you start to add them together. They compound in effect. So great question. Thank you for asking it.
I love it. I'm just now confused about then what should I share on my videos and what should it, you know?
So tell them everything except what you were going to tell them. Tell them that because I want you to build a list. I want you to build a community. You're going to tell them the same thing. You're going to, hey, listen, I found a secret. I just learned from a powerful woman in Panama. I learned from a 23-year veteran, the secret sauce, the secret to 100 things. If you want to learn how you have 100 things that'll change your business starting tomorrow, you need to jump on my Zoom. And you tell them what you learned about your 100 things.
Okay. Love it.
And you can listen, you can practice, you can do a practice video in the secret sauce, the July 2020 group. You can do a practice and a teaser and let us give you feedback.
Love it. Yes, definitely. I will do that.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
Okay, guys. I just need to ground in my body what I just heard. Kayla, you are amazing. Do you realize how far you have come in your life and who you are? I am absolutely blown away. And that is how I'm feeling too, being around Sean. I mean, I've been around this man for what, like 3 months? And it's like bling, 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 and firing and firing and firing. I mean, I'm getting more headaches than I had in 20 years. It's like, because my body is like, you can't grow this much, this fast. It's not, you know, we spent 50 years struggling. You're going to stop it now. You're going to be happy now. And I have to say, everything, what really touched me isn't just that we all love Sean, but it's that you have integrated in your body what Sean has been teaching you. And Sean, when he works with somebody and he says, you did that, When he takes my headache from a 15 to a 2, on the second conversation we've ever had, he said, "You did that." And it's like, he's not out there to make us all fall in love with him, but he knows that his love makes the difference. He knows that it does make a difference. And he gets the experience of that. And he does have a secret sauce in that he has an intuitive sense about people that, you know, like you say, you want to be better than them. I want that. I want that ability when he's not even talking to somebody to see which is somebody that worth taking the time to talk to or not. But when he does talk to somebody, he has this infinite patience. And I'm like, okay, let's get to the point. Let's get to the point, you know? And it's like, no, you can't get to the point until you've listened, like you said, Keyla. And just hearing how much you have grown, and hearing, I can't believe that Rhonda ever needed all this growth, but apparently she did. She was this timid little person. Can't imagine that. She is so amazing to me. And what I also experience with Sean is his ability, his willingness to coach us no matter what, no matter when. I mean, even when I completely screw up, after the fact, I can come back to him and say, I realize I missed a mentoring moment here. And he'll give it to me anyway. You know, he'll give me what I could have gotten to maybe save a sale or something, but it's not about the sales. I mean, the sales are happening, but that's not what's important. What's important is the becoming. And since day one, he's been telling me to be more, do less. Well, my doer is like, but I gotta do, you know, and here I am, it's the 4th of July and everybody's with their families and I don't really have a family to be with, so I better do more. Nah, it's not that. And yet, even though he's on vacation, he took time out to respond to questions and things that were coming up, because I was kind of in a little bit of a, well, I wasn't really doing too much. I was responding to other people. And I'm learning. I'm getting better. And one of the things that he's done for me that has changed my life is what you see, how you see things. When you see things differently, it changes what you see. So I had never, ever celebrated a win before, ever. I mean, I have gotten box loads of trophies. I've gotten awards. I've made zillions of dollars, frankly, which I've lost it all because I never celebrated any of it. I never knew. And I was even aware when I'd receive an award and would discount it, but that I was doing that, but I did not know how to do it any differently. Well, when I won $1,000 practically for no reason, you know, because I was just doing my business, Rhonda and Sean celebrated with me. Sean cried. He's in public somewhere. And it made me realize how, it made me feel so important to myself. Not for them, but for me. I felt in my body what it felt like to celebrate myself in a way I never have in my whole life. And then, you know, a few days later, he's doing this Secret Sauce 2020 class, you know, and it's like, I don't know where all the stuff is, and so I want to listen. So I get on both of the classes. I must have spent 4 hours with him that day. And I'm sitting there doing asking my questions, and everything he says goes in because I'm open to it. Like his mentor said, okay, you're right. I'm rich, you're right. And I go, I don't want to be right anymore. I want to be rich. So if I don't understand something, he doesn't sit there. It's like, if I would question, at some point he's going to say, you're right, I'm rich. So I don't do that. What I do is I noodle with it until I get it. And then when I repeat it back, he'll say, yes, that's what I was talking about. So it'll confirm it, but he's not going to keep on giving me more and more information to get me more and more confused. That's not going to help. And sometimes he'll set me up and say, this is a mentor moment. You know, sometimes he'll set me up and say, you know, you need to hear this. But most of the time, he's just really helping me to ground in what's my secret sauce, which is my greatness. Each one of us has our greatness. You know, Les Brown says, you have greatness inside you. You know, we have greatness inside us. And this is not about putting him on a pedestal. And it's not about putting ourselves on a pedestal. I get to take myself off of the pedestal. I don't have to be the big expert. What is it that you really need from me? How can I help you today? What is it that you're looking for right now? You know, what is the purpose of this conversation? What's the end result that we're looking for? So the second thing about grounding in those, the wins and celebration, this little teeny weeny thing, when we're in that middle of that 2020 thing, you know, and I sing happy birthday to everybody. I've gotten a few sales from singing happy birthday. And this guy who I haven't talked to since 2012, who I know makes millions of dollars, he's a marketer, he does all this stuff. He reaches back and we have this little, so what are you up to? You know, what company are you with? I didn't say what company I'm with. I think it's probably the first time I didn't get intimidated and say that. And, you know, and he said, well, send me some info. I said, well, are you just curious? Or you know, he said, I probably won't do this. And then I started to say something and I said, you know, I'm just messing with you because I heard you say I'm probably not going to do this. But I'm just curious, would you like more info or would you like the link to make that easy buying decision of $29? Because it's a very easy buying decision. Come on. If you have any interest, you just go ahead and do that, right? So he said, well, I want both. I said, okay. So I gave him both, said, give me a few days. I come back a few days later and said something completely apart from the business. How are you? You know, what's going on? I said, watch out for the crazies, lunar eclipse, etc. And I said, did you ever get a chance to look at that stuff? He said, yeah, I just ordered the 7-day experience. Well, I don't know whether he had done it before I asked him that, but he did. And I'm celebrating my win of for once doing it. I mean, I've made a lot of sales, but there are very few of them that feel really effective like that. Like I'm really integrating what's going on here. And I don't know whether the guy's going to do any more with us or not, but you know, it's not about that little bit of money. It's about that 1,000 times over and helping 1,000 people. And Kayla, I am so excited that you have 1,000 people on your team. When you started with the dirt floor, I mean, it just absolutely blows my mind what we're capable of and where we're headed. Now, I'm sorry to go on and rant like this, but I have to tell you, I am just, you know, and this morning you saw me moving around a lot because my body needed to move. I needed to get myself moving, and now I'm moving, you know. And Sean, I just so appreciate you taking some time out on your vacation, and I love every question here. I see everybody grow. I see in this little teeny weeny bit of time how everybody is expanding. And what you've done is compressed. It's taken me 50 years to be here. And you guys are getting it done in minutes or days or months, whatever it takes is taking you. And if it took me 50 years, oh, well, here I am. I love it, because what's going to happen the next 20 years? I don't have 50 left anymore. I know I don't. So I really got to do it now, not yesterday, you know. Anyway, and Michelle, I loved you yesterday for sharing, you know, for being vulnerable with something. Okay, it's like, yes, we have all these nice mental ideas, but here's the real story of what's going on in your life. and you allowed yourself to shift. And that's what I see that's so beautiful, is how people are allowing themselves into their greatness and not holding on to the story. And when somebody is so committed to their story that they cannot even hear Sean, he just loves them anyway. And maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't, but there's no attachment to if you get it, you know, and that's the beauty of it. And I just feel so privileged and honored to hang out with Sean and Rhonda. And, you know, and if I'm being too noisy or too pushy or too something, they'll tell me, I'm sure. I think I've earned that for them to kick me in the butt if I need to be kicked. But meanwhile, I'm seeing my business exploding. I'm seeing it exploding worldwide, you know, and in order for people to go worldwide like you did, Kayla, you have to go bigger, you know. And so if I get 1,000 in Australia and 1,000 in Spain and 1,000 in the US, I'm okay with that. All right, Sean, can we do that? Are we ready for that?
We're ready for that. I'll speak for him. We are so ready for that.
I've never grown internationally before. I have no idea how to do that. But I'm also realizing that I can't make an assumption because somebody says, okay, I'm ready to go, that they are ready to go. Have they done their homework? Because there's no point in us wasting Sean's vacation if they haven't done their homework, you know? So anyway, God bless you. Thank you for letting me go on. I just had to, Kayla, your demonstration of Sean's teaching, you know, training and mentoring. And I'll say to people, I don't do any training. He does the training. I bring them to him, you know, because I can't. And Rhonda would say that to me in the beginning. She said, what I've gotten really good at is discerning who to bring to Sean and then bringing him to Sean. And when I first started, I wasn't very discerning about it because I started learning from bringing, you know, a lot of people to him, and he patiently let me do it. And he kept telling me, and it took me a few times to hear it, that he cared, that it wasn't about that person that he was talking to. He just wanted to re-engage me every conversation, which he did. And one of the things that I feel really good about myself is that I've been coachable, that I really have soaked in the blessing that we have in a different kind of training that is building people, not a company. We build people, we help people change, and we are changing generations to come because we're changing our own DNA. When we change, I don't even have children, but I know that what's happening here, I'm gonna change thousands of lives. I know that. And I know that because I see it in you and you and you, I mean, each one of you. And I can't wait when I'm 80 years old, running up on stage with you guys and holding your hands. Like how many, you know, it's just gonna be fun, you know, because I can do that. I will be able to do that. Anyway, enough. I'm done. Unless you have some feedback, Sean.
Aaron.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What do you say to bring people to Sean? What's your secret? What do you say?
You know, I say that's a really great question, Jessica. And all I know is that this guy that I'm working with, he has a kind of magical way of hearing people and helping them get underneath the question and underneath what's going on. And I would love to hear what he would have to say to you.
Wow. Thank you.
Or something else. But where I go wrong, Jessica, is when I try to sell him. You can't sell him any better than you can sell a company. When I say, oh man, you got to meet this guy, Sean, you know, this guy's changed my life. And he's, you know, it's like, we're not talking about the company. We're building people instead of companies. No, it doesn't work that way. And when I've done that, it doesn't work because I'm not listening and I'm not hearing. I am still selling. And when I get out of my selling mode and I get into my heart, and sometimes I can totally screw up and come back and say, you know what? I apologize. I screwed up big time. And I'm willing to be vulnerable like that because all somebody can do is say, you know, I mean, people know that you screw up. But it's not about sales. It's really, I will never forget the feeling when I won $1,000 and here this man stopped in his travels in Home Depot and cried with me for joy, for joy. And by the way, I'm having a headache for days.
And you know what? I don't know who asked the question, but you know what? It gets to the same thing about you don't sell a business, you like Sharon you said. If you want people to get to know Sean, they have to see Sean through you first. They have to see him through you first because nobody cares. I mean, they don't know Sean. Nobody cares who's him. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, just like he will say sometimes, you know, nobody cares. I mean, they have to see some change in you to know what is going on with you, what you did that got you changed or have a smile or doing life now. I bet people say, hey, Sean, what's going on with you that now you're doing this life? And
you know, Keyla.
I mean, people have to see Sean through you first. It's not about, just like Sharon said, it's not about selling him. It's not about bringing people to him just like, here you are, I put you right here. Yeah, go there. There, you do the job for me. No, it's what you see in me. People ask me, Keyla, how you before this and that? And I will say, oh, yes, remember when I was like this and I didn't this and didn't that. I say, yeah. Oh, see what happened 2 years ago? I met this person and now it's like every day I'm in this meeting and sometimes I talk, sometimes I don't talk. And there's a lot of people, and believe it or not, those things that I hear there, you know, when I go out there with all this energy, like you think, what that happened in that meeting. I don't sell Sean.
And you know, Keyla, I have a person who apparently has been following me for several years, but it's only since I started doing this that she actually started communicating. And she would write to me, she'd say, you are such a beautiful person. She'd say all these really nice things to me. And I was trying to find out a little bit more about her, and she was just in really deep depression, and she had lost a son and was about to have an operation and all this. Well, she ended up becoming a customer, but I still want her to meet Sean before she has an operation that fuses her spine that she's in terror of, because I know that he can help her better than I can to be in preparation for this. But she has.
And like I was saying, Sharon, I mean, we know Sean, we know him, but nobody have to love him if they don't know him.
Exactly.
Just like that. I mean, we love him, and we can't expect people love somebody that they don't even know. So I mean, what Sean wants, like he always said, he want to leave a legacy for, I don't know how many years he said.
600 generations.
600 generations. How he will do that? Yeah, through us. I mean,
yes.
What people see in me is part of me, and it's part of him.
Okay.
I don't got his blood. I don't know if you keep going back years and years, I'm probably his family who knows somebody, but maybe not, maybe yeah. I mean, they say we all come from one woman, one man. I don't know, but anyway, the point is he did it. I mean, he's doing it. Put some generation in us so we can, put that out there. So what I will say is the same thing about business, about product. I mean, people have to see something in us. If you want people to see Sean, if we want people to see Sean, if we want people to be here, they have to see that in us so they can ask the question, like Sean said, raise their hand, and then you can say about that. Because otherwise, why would people want to be here? I mean, plus, it's like me. When I first started with Sean in these meetings, not when I met him, in this meeting, I told Sean straight. I said, I don't believe in this kind of getting together thing and hearing to everybody else's problems and blah, blah, blah. I remember, I think Rob remember that. I'm like, no way I want to be in these type of things. To me, this was so stupid or makes no sense. To me, that was me talking, right? And I end up praying that everybody connects so Sean don't stop these meetings, right? I end up praying. I said, Sean, if you have to charge for this, let me know, because I don't want to. Here is a woman that didn't believe in getting together, in hearing people's problems or whatever you want to call them, because now I don't feel like it's problems, but anyway, that's a different story. But I didn't believe in this, right?
Yeah.
But that is, I mean, we transmitting what Sean do to us, the way we change, the way we talk, right?
And you know what? From this place, we are more joyful, and we are changing the people around us, because Rhonda has such joy and enthusiasm for everything. And even when she like, I'm not quite sure what to do here, she knows she's gonna know what to do. She knows that she's gonna get the information. And what I'm recognizing more and more is that, I didn't get to 74 years old without learning something, And so what he's helping me to do is to integrate that, because that part of me that was like, oh, what's wrong with you? It's like, there's nothing wrong with me. We're all, and I am so excited to see what's unfolding for each one of us. And I care about each one of us. And it's not like, oh, well, you're not on my team, never mind, or you're not in my business, never mind. No, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like this is a gift to each of us. And
we love family. I mean, we love each other, and we mean it. I mean, I know we mean it. I mean, here comes a person that never said I love no one, right? I mean, there's a person that said, I know I love, okay, it's in my mind, but I will never say I love. I will never be sending no love to no one, no heart. I mean, that was so, right? And Sean did that to me, and I remember, I mean, I have changed so much. I mean, like 2 years ago, you won't see me talking like this, because to me that was so stupid. To me, like, heart, love, blah, blah. I mean, and Sean knows, right? And Rhonda too. I mean, I love Rhonda so much. She have helped me so much, right? But I remember when we wasn't able to do this before, right? I mean, before you don't see Rhonda smiling that much like she see now, and that's Sean, right? And I know Rob Cardenas remember this, and Charlie too, because they were there. And I mean, every time I opened my camera for something back then, it was either to cry or to say, please help me. And I never thought I would have a word to no one. Never imagined that.
You changed me, Kayla.
Oh,
You.
you're so sweet. Thank you so much. And see what I hear. You hear what I just did? Oh, you're so sweet. Before I was like, okay. You will say something to me like that, and I was like, okay, that's it, right? And I turn off my camera. I couldn't handle those things, and I'm like, yeah, right. You telling me you love me? Yeah, thank you. I mean, and that's what it is, you know. And this is Sean. I mean, when I talk like this is Sean. I remember I telling Sean one time, I said, you need to stop, you need to get out of my mind. I mean, I drink you, I eat you, I everything is you. And I remember I said, shit, plus I have my issues, right? So even given that I have my issues, I'm like, no, I need to get this man out of my mind. No, plus, no, what's wrong with you, Kayla? You don't allow yourself to have a man in your life, in your mind like this and this and that. What will be next? What would you dream about? I was getting scared. So to have some wet dream about Sean, I mean, I was scared. Because he was in my mind all the time, right? I mean, I'm not scared saying it. And I was like, no, Kayla, don't refuse and it's like he said, it's like when your body and your mind and your heart knows that you changing for better, he play you funny games. And he started playing me this funny game that I trust me. I was worried. But this is your mind and your body and your heart telling you, no, you're not getting there. You're not gonna be better because you don't deserve that, right? And he made me I mean, this is the first time he knows that I was worried about having wet dreams with him, right? But I probably already knew that I was scared about that, right? And I was so worried.
She really did say that.
And I'm so happy. I never had no wet dream about him. I'm so happy. Because I will be my body telling me.
Love it so
much. I think we lost him.
I'm not gonna say sorry. I mean, I said it. But anyway.
He's even blushing.
He's got red.
I love you, Kayla. I love you. Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, that's why when Daniela said, "What I have to do this," it's your body, it's your mind, it's us. Like, your body and your old story telling you, don't you go there because you don't deserve it, and we don't understand it. The thing is that if you ask me if I deserve good before, and I'm probably sometimes still, because this is like a permanent, you know, you're always fighting with a lot of stuff, right? But if you ask me back then, directly, you ask me, do you think you deserve to be a good person, have money? I will say, yes, I believe I deserve. Like inside you, deep inside you, there's a lot of things saying, no, you don't deserve it because you've been bad. You don't deserve it because you did this, that, a bunch of stuff, right? And
I still struggle with deserving the attention and the help that I get from Sean and Rhonda. I still struggle with that.
And we all gonna struggle. And I bet Sean struggle with a bunch of stuff. You just don't know. You think he don't struggle with things? God, I remember when he started this meeting. I'm not gonna say the things that he said back then, right? but he tell us exactly why he started these meetings. He has some struggle going on, right? And we all struggle, and we always gonna struggle. But I'm so happy that we learn to struggle in different levels, and every time you struggle is that you get into another level. And I love struggling. I love them now. I say, come on, struggling. Come on. Give me more. Because the more you give me, the stronger I get, the next level I go. See? And I know now that I am a human being, that when I struggle, I'm gonna have my time to now understanding, right? But at the same time, I say, okay, that's it, move, because I'm coming, right? And Sean teach me that. Every time I struggle and I worry and I get depressed, I said, this is my mind telling me you can't do it. This is my mind telling me, no, you don't deserve it. That's too much for you, right? It's my mind, and not only your mind, I learned to even your body tells you that. Not just, well, your mind is connected to everything. That's what Sean tells me all the time, right? But sometimes I don't feel it in my mind. Sometimes I feel it on my body. That's why I get he asks, where do you feel it? Where do you feel it? I learning from him. I know now why he's telling me where I feel it. Because it's not always in your mind. Sometimes it's in your legs. Sometimes it's in your belly. Sometimes it's in your boobs. I mean, sometimes I feel I have the sexiest boob I ever can have. And sometimes I feel like they just hanging. And I'm like, that's my body trying to stop me from something, but you're not gonna make it. So I go and get bras to put them up. And I say, yes, I'm sexy again, right? Because I learned to fight with those messages that my body telling me stop, right? And I learned that from Sean. When I feel like vomiting, I'm like, all right, you trying to stop me from something? No, so I do something with my stomach, right? That's how it is. It's like right now, you guys know that I'm going through all this thing on my lung, my 2 tumors on my lung. Anybody will see me right now, she said, gosh, that girl is so healthy, right? I don't even have pain. Oh my God, I almost dropped this. I don't even have pain anymore. But that's when you learn to say your body can't control you. Sean teach me, now it's just what your mind said. Because all my life I said, control your mind, control your mind, control your thought, control your thought, your mind control everything, right? Sean said me bullshit. Yes, you control your mind. Yes, you don't let your mind, but your body controls you too. Every time I look at myself, I feel like I want to have a better nose. And yesterday I thought I had that if I get like this, my nose look prettier if I get like this. But today I see that if I get like this, my nose doesn't look good. I say, that's my nose trying to control me. So no, right? So I go and clean my nose and I put something here and I say, here we go, nose, I love you. You look good, right? Because that was my nose trying to control me, right? Like the other day, I was talking and I smiled and I love to smile like this, right? And then the other day, I said, oh my God, my teeth look yellow. They don't look white. Oh shit, I'm not gonna smile no more. I said, shit, but I can't go to no dentist. In Panama, you can go down right now. We've been 4 months in whatever, how you call that when you lock yourself in. And we only can go out 3 hours a week, not per day, a week. Every 7 days, we have 3 hours to go out, right? How I'm gonna think about cleaning my teeth and making them white, right? If I can't even go to a dentist because you're not dentist. But here I am thinking, oh, my teeth look yellow. Oh, okay, that's my teeth wanted to stop me to not smile, to not do the life. That wasn't my brain. Yes, maybe it was my brain, but I don't understand that brain thing. So I understand that my mouth, my brain said, oh, let me get you through your body, right? So my teeth, I said, and then I said, oh, let me go and brush my teeth. And then I said, oh, let me buy those toothpaste that say that you can get more white if you brush with them. And maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but I bought it and I brushed my teeth with that. I said, hi, they look white. Maybe they look the same. But I try to fight with that thing and I say, oh, they white now. And then my kid, my 6 years old, come, no, mom, they look the same. I say, don't say that. They look whiter, right? Because, you know, they don't lie. So I'm like, no, they never lie. So at the end, That's what Sean teach me. But I can't tell people, hey, Sean made me, oh, come to this meeting, this morning call, because here is a man that made me, here is a man that talk and change people. Like, no. I said, here it is, the person that, can you believe that yesterday I thought my teeth were black and now they white? What, Kayla? Oh, yes. I'm in this meeting that made me see what I want to see, right? So that's what I say. And people, really? So if you want to see that you got good this and you don't, but you want to feel like you do, you go to that meeting, yes, yes. If you want to feel that you're pretty, even though you've been 40 years old thinking that you're ugly, you go there and one day you feel like you're pretty. People love that. So I mean, that's what I've been learning. And I wasn't like this, and Rhonda wasn't like this, and Rob, and all of us that been here for long, right? But we've been changing. But at the same time, you have to see yourself and look at you, get in the mirror, and realize all this stuff that you have changed. Because sometimes we don't realize how much we have changed. Sometimes you just go doing things, and and that 100 things or 1,000 things that you can get, that's how you do it. That's how you do it, because you start to see things that you never see before. Why do you think I can stand here or sit down here and talk? Because I see stuff that I never see before.
You know, the other thing, Kayla, that I see here is that it's not about stuffing away the judgments and not about, you know, denying that you have them. What it's doing is loving them away, you know, having them and giving it enough love, because I can, you know, I know all of, I mean, I have 50 years of personal development. I can, you know, quote it hook, line, and sinker. But then there's the reality of how I'm behaving. So it's like, if I'm not in joy and I'm pretending to be in joy, there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect energetically. There's a disconnect in what people are experiencing from me. So if I can be honest with myself that something's going on, and I can love myself through to the other side, then it doesn't have to keep on running me. And so the time of misery gets shorter and shorter and shorter, and it can be a split second. The misery can, oh, there's that again, poof, poof, thanks to Bukuni. Poof is my new favorite word. So, but I think it's like, I think there was an exercise he did that's like, what are some of the things that get in your way or something, or what do you not like about yourself? And it's not like saying there isn't anything, because I know I've fixed everything. No, those things are there, and we're changing them, you know, and it's not just about an empty affirmation that makes it opposite. It's about really affirming from inside out, being able to look in the mirror and see all my little wrinkles and see all my little chubby cheeks and see the brown teeth from the coffee that I drank for 2 years. And gosh, you're beautiful, because I am from inside out. And when I do a video that has zero makeup and I really do look 74 years old, I can still love myself and say, you know what, I prefer not to leave myself looking like that, so I'm going to change that up a little bit in the future. But it doesn't deny what was underneath that, and denial doesn't help either. Yeah. And that's what I see in other people. Anyway, I'm sorry, Sean, for going on and on, but I just love Kayla, and I love the questions that people have said, and I love you guys with all my heart.
I love you, Sharon.
Thank
Sharon,
you.
I have a
And
question.
Michelle, you and I, go ahead. What's your question?
I think Jessica asked, like, you know, what do you say and how do you bring people to Sean? Can you prospect me and give us an example? I mean, I heard everything you and Kayla, especially what Kayla said, but I guess with our different learning styles, sometimes we just need to hear it Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, and Michelle, what I would ask you is, tell me more about yourself. I would ask you tell me more about yourself. What do do you have a side gig now, or, and you
Okay,
tell
no,
me what it is.
Okay,
And
no, I don't. No, I don't have anything going on. 52 years old, would like to make a little extra money on the side.
Okay, so have you looked at other businesses? Have you tried other businesses before?
No, I haven't. I've seen a lot of people on social media doing it and kind of wondering, what it is.
So I'm curious, Michelle, what is it that made you reach out to me?
Well, I've just been seeing your posts on social media.
Okay, awesome. That's great. So what would you like to get out of a side gig if you had one?
Right now, I'm just looking to make some extra money.
Well, for some people, some extra money is like, to pay for their products. For some people, it's to, pay for their mortgage.
Couple $100, and see where it goes.
Okay. What's making you want that right now?
Just limited on finances and wanting to be able to do more things, kind of like my extra play money.
Okay. So what are some play things that you don't get to do because you don't have the money for it?
Shopping.
I feel you, girl. I feel you. When I won that $1,000, I started shopping for some stuff that I've been have postponed doing. So I hear you. Yeah.
You
awesome.
won. Wait a minute. You won $1,000?
Oh yeah, I am having so much fun with what we're doing here.
What are you doing? I mean, $1,000 is more than my 200. Talk to me.
Well, it was a contest that it was basically a drawing, and I was just doing what we do, and I won, and it was such a celebration.
So what do you do then?
Well, I'm actually helping people to really get clear on who they are and what they're wanting and helping them to achieve that. Do you have any, you look gorgeous, so it doesn't look like weight loss is anything that's on your agenda. Have you ever wanted to lose a few pounds, or do you know anybody who does?
Yeah, the virus pounds, I have those right now. Yes, ma'am. Pictures can be deceiving. That's why they're only above the waist.
Well, we have a core product that helps people to feel better, have more energy, and drop a few pounds, and you can get a 7-day experience of it for like $29. Is that something?
Really?
Would you like to know more about that?
Yeah, I'd love to. Can you send me some info for that?
Well, would you like some info, or would you just like the link to go ahead and get the 7-day experience?
I'd kind of like some info, I think.
Okay. All right.
I'm one of these learners, I want to know what it is.
I'm the same way. I have a mentor that I work with who's just been amazing, and for me, he's helped me integrate. He's given me more joy than anything. But he put together a little website for us called 7dayexperience.com, and that is loaded with information.
That's right up my alley.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to send you, I'll send you that. And when do you think you'll have a chance to look at that?
I can look at it later on today.
Okay. So when you've taken a look at it, I'll come back. I've got to run now, actually, but I'll send you a link to that. And actually, I can't even send you a link on Facebook. It's 7dayexperience.com. So
Okay.
and what you'll do is, there's something about having a side gig, and there's something about our company itself, and some amazing testimonials and a couple of corporate videos. It's worth taking a few minutes to really go through the whole thing. And about 3 hours or so, I should be back from what I'm doing. Will that be enough time for you to have taken a look at it?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool, fun. Well, we'll take a look at that, and then we'll see if what your next steps might be.
Perfect. Sounds good, Sharon. I appreciate it.
I feel so on the line. I have no idea whether that was a decent prospect or not.
But that's good though, because I think that relieves me, because we're put on the spot so many times when we're out talking to people. You know, I mean, I feel anyway, maybe it's just me, but I feel I am put on the spot more times than not. Does that make sense?
Well, what I would do now, probably, Michelle, is I would go back to Sean and Rhonda and say, I think I just did this, and we'll see what happens in a few hours, and be available for me, please, in case she seems like somebody that I would like to put you on with, you know, and that's what I usually also finish up with and say, you know, if it's appropriate, I can introduce you to these amazing people that I work with, because they know more than I do.
Gotcha.
So, Sean?
No, I thought it was great. I thought, again, it's find out where they're at, give them what they're looking for. Einstein said, make everything as simple as possible. Don't make it simpler. And that's it.
Okay.
Now, Michelle, one of the things, if you find a mentor in your organization that you'd want to be able to bring people to, is say, listen, you know, you may have been looking at a side gig before. Maybe this is the first time. What's the biggest fear you have in making us for creating a successful side gig? What do you think might hold you back?
Well, just fear, you know, can I actually do it? I mean, I have no experience in this. I have no idea what it is, but I see people doing it and I'm like, okay, if all these other people can do it.
So if you could have a conversation with somebody that could take that fear and make you totally understand it and no longer fear it, not be nervous, you might still be nervous, but take the fear away from it. If you decide this is worth something moving forward, would you like to have a conversation with that person who's done it with thousands of people around the world? Take that fear, turn it into a fun, nervous energy so that you could actually create that 200?
Absolutely. And I like how you're not just taking my fear away, but in my mind, just so people listening understand my thought, is making it possible and empowering me immediately.
Yep. Because
I would love to talk to somebody that's been doing this and can take all, you know, just cut to the chase with me.
And here's the thing, Michelle. The reason I want to introduce you to this person, because he's done so much for me. But the other thing is that might not be the only one you need to speak to. I've got a handful of people who are on my team that you may resonate with more. But I figure if we're gonna go move a mountain, let's get somebody who's moved mountains before.
And that makes sense. Yeah.
So the point is that when you're having these conversations with your prospects, you know, $200, you know what, that's an amazing number. What if you were to start right now and you had all of the information you needed and you had all the confidence you needed and you had everything that you wanted, what do you think would be the biggest thing that would keep you from plugging into a system that absolutely works? And this is, everybody can say this, that plugs into a system that absolutely works. What do you think would keep you from doing that?
Maybe time, you know, like I don't know how much time this would involve.
Okay. If it took just enough time to make 200 that made it worthwhile for you, would that be enough time?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So I'm not trying to sell you against your. I'm down here at the fuel docks, if you haven't guessed. What I am trying to do is say, you decide how much time $200 is worth. I don't know how much time that is. Could be 10 hours, could be 10 minutes. But if you could put in enough time that made the $200 worthwhile, would you do it? Rather than go, well, it's 2 hours a week, it's 10 hours a day, it's 15 minutes every 4 hours. So if somebody says time, I say, listen, how much time you'd be willing to spend to make an extra 200, right? If you could see that happening, would you want to move forward? And that's the dialogue. And then the other thing I would say, Michelle, to somebody that wants to know information, hey, Michelle, do me a favor. Say no.
No.
Say yes.
Yes.
Guess what? You just made 2 decisions, and guess what? Guess who always has the choice of which one of those to use whenever we have a conversation?
I do.
Yep. So I just wanted to make sure you could say both of them. And it's okay. Both of those are okay answers.
Wow. Sean, I have a question. Would you have that entire thing up front with Michelle, or wait until after she's gone ahead and taken the information and come back a few hours later? So since
so Michelle's question was how do you bring people to me? So I wanted to give her that next
level. Yes.
Level of that dialogue of what might actually be the dialogue and the language to bring people to me.
Yeah.
It's noon. They're unloading the in the morning because tomorrow's Monday, and I get to do it at 7:30 because we just crossed over into Eastern time. So, yay for me!
You're gonna do it at 7:30
Rhonda, where's Ronda
Eastern?
Parker? She's still here?
Yes, I'm here.
No. Yeah, well, it's still 6:30. It's still 6:30 Central.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Thank you, Sean. Thank you,
Wrap
Rhonda.
us
Thank
up,
you,
girl.
Michelle, for putting me on the spot.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Sharon, for playing along, because I think that was very, it was
Yeah.
very helpful for me.
That was great. And you know what also? Right there, Michelle and Sharon, when you guys were talking and doing, that performance, it reminds me also when Sean said, that's the reason why we have to listen to everybody's story and learn them, right? Because sometimes I end up, I got myself now relating to the person, whatever the person is telling me, right? But I know in the team, other stories that relate to the person, and that helps me a lot. When I'm talking and I see the person, like, asking me these questions, but maybe I can have like experience that I remember other people's stories, and I say, oh my God, you know what? I know someone that kind of have the same story.
Sean, I'm sorry, but can you mute? You got a lot of background noise and you're cutting Kayla out.
I got it for you, Sean. I got
Thanks.
it.
So that helps a lot, and that's why Sean always tell us, learn everybody's story in your team or in your groups, right? And that's why we can't be just like, oh yeah, she's telling her story and not paying attention. You have to listen to everybody's story, because believe it or not, that story will help you whenever you're in front of anyone. If you can't relate to that, you can share a story of other people that people say, really? Really? Do you know people? Because sometimes we get in this picture that we are the only one in this world living that story, and nobody ever lived that story before, right? Oh my God, I'm the only one that's been through this. And we get that position, right? And it's not true. I mean, we'd be surprised how many people got our own story with the little different things. So if you learn everybody's story, when you get in front of other people, people will ask you, and you probably don't have the answer, but you remember somebody have that answer, right? And Rhonda, a lot of time, with Sean called me and say, hey, Kayla, I want you to meet someone because there is a story, and I think you guys, I exactly know why they meet, and we talk, and that's it, right? And that leads you to other things, and that's what we are here for, to help each other, and you with your team too, either with your team to build your business, another perspective, or to bring them here to build other things and business too. But that's why we have to listen. That's why Sean also said, learn how to remember names, learn this, learn that. Everything got a purpose, because it's not the same. I know someone that have, or I know this person, her name is blah, blah, you know, all that stuff. Everything got a reason why he trying to teach us that to us. So that's why when you guys talk, I'm like, okay, I need to remember her name, her story, where she's from, even the country. Sean teach us, people have to know where you're from. And if you listen to him say, here is this woman from Panama, right? He don't say my country just because he want to say the country. He say the country because there is a reason behind that. There is a reason that, hey, somebody may be from Panama, just because I'm from Panama. She said, oh my God, somebody from Panama, I want to hear that. Not even, maybe my story got nothing to do with the person, but just the flag connect you to the person, right? The other day, I was talking to somebody from Africa, and I'm like, oh my God, John, I got somebody from Africa. And he's like, where from Africa? I said, oh, I don't know. I said, okay, let me ask. Because just I hear Africa, and I say, oh my God, I got people on the morning call that are from Africa. I got this, right? And I call, and then I say, oh my God, where are you from? I thought Africa was just Africa, right? And then I asked the person, and the person, oh, South Africa. And I was like, Sean, from South Africa. He's like, perfect, because this and this, whatever, right? But just that gave me exciting, right? And then when I told the person, oh, you know what, that I know there are people from South Africa. Now I put this out there, right? I know it makes a difference. She's like, really? I say, yeah. That gave me a reason to talk, right? The other day I was trying to talk to somebody from Puerto Rico, but it was no way I can talk to that person, like connect. And then when I see people here from Puerto Rico, I say, yes! And then I say, oh, you know, I know somebody from Puerto Rico, and this boy like this and that. And then I felt like I had a conversation. And what I'm saying this is, that's why we have to put our heart and really know everybody's stories. I'm sounding like Sean now. Stories. Listen to your stories. Tell your story. That's Sean. Tell your story.
And I love the way he has us asking questions, relevant questions, not just for the sake of asking questions, but like there are always more questions that I could be asking, like, what do you know, like, gee, you've gotten to 52 years old and you haven't done a business yet. What's making you want to do one now? And it's like, well, I'm short on money. That's a pretty surface answer, you know. And at the same time, I don't have permission yet to go too much deeper than that. So I might ask Sean, you know, how would you have taken that one a little bit deeper before we even get to the rest of that? And I'm going to sear in my soul that, you know, what do you think has ever stopped you before? You know, and that might be the time to do that. I don't know. So, and I know you got to go. It's noon for you there. So, anyway.
But yeah, it's like with Sharon. Like now I see Sharon with all this energy. Now I feel like I can talk with other people, like, you know, age, because I feel like people with older than me will listen to me. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't talk with people older than me. But now with Sharon, I'm like, I want to talk to everybody. No, I don't care if they're 100 years old. I want to talk to all of them, because I can use Sharon and I can say, here it is. You think you can't make business because you're 70, because you're 80? Watch and see this woman, this and da. So, I mean, everybody here, we just have to listen with our hearts to everybody. I understand this is all about building people, really building people, because everybody have a need, but we need to listen to them. And that's it. I promise I won't say anything else no more.
Okay, Sean and Rhonda.
RBP.
What an amazing call. This was, well, I do have a mouthful, but I'll chew it quickly. This has been such a blessing. Man, if you I'm going to say it and then I'm going to say a prayer and we'll get off. If you didn't get something out of this, I need to check your pulse because that was freaking amazing. I mean, amazing. So, Sean, we hope you enjoy as much joy as you brought us right now. We hope you enjoy that 10 times over on your vacation, and always. You're such a sweet, sweet man to even take time for us on your vacation. I know that's who you are. I already know that because you did it last year, but thank you so much. You are so sweet to us. So I'm just going to say a quick prayer, and then we can let Sean do his tagline when we leave and jump off. So let's just pray real quick. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for today. Thank you for changing the hearts on this call. Thank you for the way Kayla can speak into us, and Sharon can speak into us, and Ann and Gigi and Sean and me and everybody that showed up today. God, thank you that you put us here and you gave us breath in our lungs today to just help each other and to encourage each other. And it's like Michelle sharing her journey so we can learn from her experience and not have to necessarily go through it. God, thank you for providing ways to catapult us into the blessings you have right here for us to step into. Thank you for those blessings. Thank you for today. Thank you for Sean and his generosity of his time on his vacation. Father, bless him. You are the keeper of all times. Stretch the hours to where he has even more with his family today that he's given to us. Bless them with an amazing, amazing vacation, and with love and laughter all around him and all through the family that he's with. Keep them safe. Keep each one of us on this household, in this call, safe, and our households safe. Send us your blessings. Help us to open our hands and receive them and send them out to the others that we come in contact with. Father, we love you. We thank you. We give you all the glory and all the praise. And we say all this in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thanks, y'all.
Amen. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Kayla, Sharon, Daniela, everybody, and everybody. I'm your head misfit. I'll see y'all where?
At the next event.
Y'all send some,
Thank
y'all
you,
send some love
Sean.
to each other.
Thank you, Sean. Have a great vacation.
Everybody.
I love you
Take care,
guys.
everybody.
See you in the morning.
Sean, be safe. Enjoy your
Great call,
vacation.
Sam. Love you.
Love you.
Enjoy your day, Sean. Have fun.
All right.
Enjoy.
Go jump in the lake.
Go
I'll
jump
do
in
it.
the
Love
lake.
y'all.
Yeah, go jump in the lake.
See y'all tomorrow.
Bye.